Yo, Just Prince TV here. Now you know Lloyd Banks got the #1 album on iTunes.
Never in my list of plans. I give a fuck about your Instagram. I give a fuck about your Twitter. Don't follow me, you see me in the street, nigga. I'm a giant. Noisy footsteps can't sneak with you. Been running shit, next move is a flea.
Had the most hyped album probably for the year so far. So all his other friends from the past, Tony Yayo gave Lloyd Banks his respect. Buck gave him respect, but one guy is missing, and that one guy is 50 Cent. All right, we just gonna have to keep it a buck about 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? I think 50 Cent is jealous of Lloyd Banks, and I think 50 Cent is jealous of a lot of guys, whether it was a Nas or a Jay-Z. You know, here's the thing, man. Whenever you had a guy like that built these guys up, I mean, Lloyd Banks wouldn't probably be Lloyd Banks if it wasn't for 50 Cent giving him the outlet or the platform to display his talents. But being the fact that you're a New York artist, if you got talent, you got skill, like a Lloyd Banks, he didn't really need 50 Cent, okay? Plenty of guys that come up, they could go another route. Lloyd Banks is from Queens. He could easily get put on by Nas. He could easily get put on by Mobb Deep. Okay, he could have easily hopped on somebody else from Queens and let them put him on. You know, he didn't technically need 50 Cent. Okay, he'd have probably been an underground artist. He probably wouldn't have some of the commercial hits like Karma and stuff like that. But we don't know. He probably still would have had a bunch of hits. You know, he could have joined a clique like Dipset or anything, any New York-based clique he could have got down with. It didn't have to be G Unit. He just needed to get put on. All right, so.
I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker.
The thing about it is, the fact that G Unit don't even make music together no more is kind of disappointing and sad, man. It's kind of like you see the Lox still rock with each other from day one, but you got Banks, he throwing diss shots at 50 Cent because 50 Cent called him Lazy Banks, you know, or Lazy Lloyd. Yo, man, it's like if that's your guy, you really rock with him. I mean, you can't be doing that, Fifth. You can't be throwing your own guys under the bus, calling them this and that, man. Those are dudes you rock with. You know, that's like Raekwon and Ghostface beefing. Even if they have a little problem, they settle it right there face to face and they just talk about it. But they're never going to let it air out and get all over the place to a point that it's breaking up the group, you know? Because you're supposed to be my brother's keeper. And that's supposed to be your right-hand man. That guy stood by you, do all the nonsense that you was going up with. When you was beefing with Ja Rule and all these other cliques, he was rocking with you. He could have got his wig pushed back. He could have got his Xbox turned off, you know? But guess what? He still stood with you. You can't disrespect guys that stood with you from the jump, okay? That's called loyalty. And yo, Fifth, that's wrong. I think you need to go out and reach to Banks, because if a dude is willing to bust his gun for you, or he willing to be on the block with you, you got to provide for that dude. You know, you got to represent for him. Yeah, you did a lot. You did a lot for Banks, but Banks also did a lot for you because he kept your brand, 50 Cent and G Unit popping. Because without Banks, Buck, Tony Yayo, Game to a certain extent, there is no G Unit. G Unit can't exist with just you, Fifth. So you needed those other guys to get hot too. And those other guys gave you the platform to make your G Unit successful. So it can have the closed brand and all that. You need to reach out to that man, because that's sucker stuff, you know? And why couldn't you hop up on this album with Banks? Why does Banks got to be throwing shots at you? Even to this day, he's still being humble because he's not calling your name out. But we all know he's talking about you. But he being respectful by not calling your name out, but he's just letting you know, dog, I don't have to move like you, you know? So shout out to Banks for keeping it real. But Fifth, you wasn't keeping it real when it comes to Banks or even your boy Tony Yayo, you know? You gotta hold it down, man. You gotta hold it down. Why are you calling these guys underachievers and this, that, and third? They had platinum albums, right? They don't have to go 10 times platinum like you know, to be successful. You know, come on, man. That ain't cool. That ain't stuff that's, you know, that's Winkster stuff, so to speak. Just Prince TV. I'm out.